Wait, what? So this happened. I'm Rachel Velis, and this is the podcast Hell is Not the End, although it feels like just the beginning sometimes. Is anything really the end, though? This podcast is meant to explore the limitless possibilities of one's own soul. Why do people do bad things? Why are there countless happenings beyond understanding? Why, when we are cautioned not to do something, do we just do it anyway? The definition of curiosity, a strong desire to know or learn something. There you have it. I will curiously explore why. Hell is not the end. So let's talk pandemic and phobias. Not sure what kind of quality of life you are living, but I've started to study the correlation between existing phobias and the fact that the pandemic is helping to spiral certain phobias. Not only have the last 2 years made us anxious about a sitch that we can't control, but in certain cases it's exacerbating certain phobias. We have been forced to live in a world where it seems better and safer to stay home. Obviously, you will do what you want, but we have been told safer at home. Okay, so we did stay home, and now what? A slow integration to the outside world. We are trying to be social? And then what happens? Another wave of insecurity. Every moment of every day when we are told remnants of our past normal can be achieved, the rug is again pulled out from under us. What happens to the people who are already afraid to leave their house? Certain social anxieties and phobias. Agoraphobia is a big one. People who suffer from agoraphobia fear leaving their homes in general. The fear of being judged and being in a place where they feel trapped or out of control of their own environment. Interesting statistics of people that suffer from agoraphobia suffer from panic attacks before they are properly diagnosed. So, agoraphobia symptoms range from fear of certain situations to just a thought of a fear of a certain situation to leaving your home and dealing with a feared situation. It triggers panic attacks, and any anxieties that may or may not occur when you leave your house or join the outside world. A panic attack is no picnic. It's a physical pain that causes a racing heart, shortness of breath, chest pain, sweating, and dizziness. Not to mention the anxiety that is caused by having an episode in front of others. Agoraphobia is an anxiety disorder that makes people fear and avoid certain situations where they may feel embarrassed, helpless, or even threatened. A situation involving exposure to danger is distorted. Not only does COVID-19 bring a fear of public spaces in general, but it's brought on by a whole new level of people suffering from agoraphobia. According to an American Psychological Association, ACA, report, we as Americans are experiencing a nationwide mental health crisis that could have repercussions for years to come. Their survey shows a rise in mental health issues like stress and anxiety since the start of the pandemic. However, their survey is not clear on how pandemic relates exactly to agoraphobia. Avoiding crowded public spaces seems natural to us in this pandemic and poses the potential of danger when gathering. So it's okay, we have natural fear, but we are unable to gauge when that fear is unnatural. A good way to figure out if your anxieties are becoming beyond normal, there are some simple guidelines. Do your reactions involve a potential threat or danger? Does anyone around you worry about your level of worry of avoidance? Am I practically social distancing around according to CDC guidelines, wearing a mask when you can't social distance, and washing my hands often? Or am I just avoiding certain situations and people more than necessary? Agoraphobia is often treated by way of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. This kind of therapy helps with understanding and connection between your thoughts, feelings, and actions. I know it's hard, but this helps you try and understand what even triggers your anxiety in the first place. What triggers your agoraphobia? What thoughts turn into fear from simple situations? Learn skills to help you better tolerate your anxiety. Learn skills on how to face the situation that you avoid unnecessarily in a controlled environment and slowly reincorporate yourself so that your fear becomes less. So there isn't a direct line or correlation to agoraphobia and the pandemic, but it's certainly an interesting similarity to both anxieties. The fear of COVID-19 has been labeled coronaphobia, a new anxiety disorder brought on by the pandemic. Always consult a medical health professional if you have questions or concerns with your anxiety, and always just talk to someone if you are feeling stressed or overwhelmed. I know some episodes haven't exactly been true crime, but with the way the world is going, I felt that relaying human nature information was important too. My hope is that no one has to live in fear, ever. As always, I will never give up and read the signs. Special thanks to all the reading materials I could get my hands on, internet mostly. Thanks to healthharvard.edu and wikipedia.org. Thanks so much for listening. I am Rachel Velis Knorr, and this is the podcast, Hell is Not the End.